I will have a look in these bushes to see if I can find any alchemical ingredients. So I'll walk over here and start inspecting for what I can gather.
In the bushes, what looks to be a single daggy tail, but it's over on the rock, like past the bushes. You can barely make it out. Everything else seems fairly unremarkable.
Okay, I'm going to crawl through the bushes as silently possible, just practicing my stealth skills.
You flawlessly crawl through the bushes. As you see little sticks and things that would make snapping noises, you expertly avoid them. You pass through it no problem, and you silently stand upon this rock. Above the rock, there are a couple daggy tails that could, in theory, be used in alchemy as far as you know. And in addition, there seems to be a horse just below the rocks that is drinking at a small pond.
I'm going to harvest those daggy tails.
Priorities.
Yes.
It was close there. You nearly crushed one of them, but you managed to pick them all without problems.
The big question is, Michael, are you gonna steal the horse?
I was just picturing some
hold on.
Indiana Jones stuff, jumping down, landing on the horse.
And you just
Crushing
break
your
its
balls.
back
And
and
it
it falls
falls.
over.
As you're picking the daggy tails, the owner of the horse, a fat man, walks over to the horse and makes sure that everything's okay with it. He ties the reins tightly to a nearby branch to make sure that the horse doesn't just wander away on its own, because it looks like he's going to be busy as he rifles through some goods.
I could really use a horse, actually. Funnily enough.
And you could cut the rope,
Yeah.
like with a...
I have the ability to cut the rope.
Upon closer inspection, the horse is attached to a wagon. The back of the wagon seems to be filled with hay and oats and other things that wouldn't be practical for alchemy, but would definitely be edible. The fat man's standing about 10 feet away.
I'm gonna get in the back of the wagon.
As you crawl past the horse, you startle the horse. The horse rears up and neighs loudly, getting the man's attention. However, you manage to slip by just barely without him noticing you. So you are currently behind the wagon. He walks over to the horse and inspects it. The man hears you getting into the wagon. You manage to nestle yourself firmly back behind all of the hay and all various oats and things that are back there. You are in the wagon now, but he did hear you get into it. So he moves around to the back of the wagon and he peers inside. But because you are currently well disguised, he doesn't seem to see you. Now, he shuffles around a bit. He realizes, due to your masterful deception, that it was just his imagination. And he looks around to see if there are any birds or other things that may be about, maybe messing with his stuff. There's something wrong here, but it clearly isn't in the cart, though the cart is not the problem. Having been spooked, the man goes and gets the horse ready, and then he's off. With a crack of the whip, you and the wagon proceed north. Why the hell are you going in this direction? I'm the one who's leading. No, I'm walking. You're following me again. I told you. I'm walking ahead of you. Let's try this then. I'm going to go in this direction. Well, I'm still walking ahead of you. The orc lets out an exasperated sigh as he continues going north, trying to figure out why this little elf is following him around. He looks around, but he doesn't see anything past this blanket of shadow from a nearby tree.
Well, these guys aren't really going to attack us. They know us by now, so we could probably approach them and try to get some more information. It seems like this orc could use some better company than the company he's currently got. So I'm going to boldly emerge from the shadow, kind of just walk in their direction.
The orc sees you emerge from the shadows. Why am I not surprised?
Well, there really isn't anything else they could do. They're facing all kinds of people.
I hate the sound of your voice, the orc said to Faldarth.
You're just such a likable fellow, orc. I guess we just wanted to hang around with you too.
Well, at least your company doesn't make random squeaky noises all the time.
I'm just gonna ask straight up, what's the Wood Elf's deal and why are the Duke's men after him?
The Duke stole my ring, and he gave it to his assassin. I don't like him. I tried to get it back. Now the Duke hates me because I tried to take my ring back from his assassin.
Who is his assassin exactly?
It's a big, scary Dunmer. Very unlikable man.
Oh, most Dunmer are.
Just look at him and sneer.
I give him a wink.
For the last time, Elf, I'm not going to help you get your ring back.
Oh, well, hold on a second. If this ring is expensive, we might be able to help for a solid price.
Well, if you get my ring back, I can get you access to the Duke's treasury. When I have that ring, I can go anywhere, no problem. Now, you might see I'm a little out of sorts without my ring, but I promise you, when I have that ring, you can have whatever you want. There's lots of treasure for everybody.
Okay, can you give us some clues as to how we can get on the trail of this ring?
Well, all you have to do is convince this orc to go north to the nearby town. And there, we'll have a chat with a wizard who can maybe get us into the keep.
So, I think this is a good idea.
I apply my law skill here.
Because you are a learned scholar, you spent a lot of time researching Cyrodiil before you came here. These various forts out in the wilderness. Now, contrary to popular opinion, they are not in various states of decay. They have large villages around them, and they tend to be the places of retirement for the various counts. So if a count were to retire, or a count were to have a son who did not inherit the throne, then they would go and they would be given a fief, which is one of these various small forts. And they'd be given command of some soldiers and a small village, and they'd just be tasked with that village's prosperity. That's how the dukedoms work, as a kind of sub-class of the Cyrodiilic culture. So in this particular case, this particular duke descended from the original Count of Cheydinhal. And when his family fell out of favor, he actually has a legitimate claim to Cheydinhal. And the Empire does not respect that claim. That's pretty much all you know about him based on the local lore, which brings up some questions to where you really are.
Okay, so it'd be very beneficial to find our way to this town.
Well, what if I'm just gonna bring up the name Duke Rasselfun to the Wood Elf, and is this who you're talking about, Duke Rasselfun?
Yes, he's not a good man. He's very angry. He has assassins and knights, and none of them are good people. We want to avoid him if possible.
So are we near Shaden Hall at all?
Cheydinhal? We're near Leowin.
You idiot. You don't know your directions at all, do you? Is that why you keep following me?
No, I'm the one who's leading, and you're following me.
We're very close to Cheydinhal. We're northwest of Cheydinhal. We're nowhere near Leowin. I don't know what is wrong with this elf.
Borog, so how about it then? There's this idea of a treasury. Why don't you join us, take us to this town in the north that he seems to be talking about, and let's find this wizard, if he's talking truth at all.
The orc finds the human Coltane to be extremely repulsive, yet his words are extremely convincing. He's not sold on the whole treasure thing, but all right, I'll take you as far as the village, and you and the elf can do whatever you want from there. I'm going north to Skyrim. That's all there is to it.
You can't go north to Skyrim. You have to come with us.
No, I need to go north to Skyrim. I'm not going to join you in any kind of crazy adventure. I will show you as far as the village because you are clearly good people. But after that, I'm done.
No, you have to come with us. Please.
Before the wood elf gets to yammer on anymore, I just pull my hand from my cloak, my right hand, and just cast a paralysis spell straight at him.
Your paralysis spell is not only successful, but it manages to knock him out. He's fainted straight away. He's not rigid like he's paralyzed. He's asleep. And it's kind of strange. You've never seen that quite the same reaction to a paralysis spell that you've cast before, knowing that you are a learned Telvanni wizard and you've done this stuff before. So his reaction seems kind of odd, but it's up to you whether to accept it or not. He's asleep on the ground. He did not hit his head hard.
Alright, whatever works. Now, Orc, I've shut the wood elf up for you, so we can get on.
Gods.
So let's get on to that village then. Although, one of you two will have to carry him.
Well, if we can leave him behind after we get there, that's fine by me. He picks up the elf and carries him fairly effortlessly north. The ride in the back of the wagon is extremely bumpy. As you travel north, you notice various knights that seem to be slowly moving away from what was once a battle. Some of them have wounds, some of them are in various states of being they're either scratched or dirty, or they're haggard. Haggard is a good word for it. And they don't seem to be retreating. They seem to be moving at a rather leisurely pace, but it's clear whatever kind of fight was going on has been concluded for now. You guys pass through the underbrush and the dark through what looks like an alien ruin. Burrog stops suddenly in front of the ruin and sets Feldarth gently to the ground. He kind of contemplates the circular formation that goes deep down into the earth, and he doesn't seem to be moving toward it at all, but he's just kind of standing there.
Yeah, did you hear something? Why are we stopping?
This area is kind of dangerous. I'm thinking we should probably go around. There's a dungeon here that I haven't ever been into. I don't ever want to be in. And that's pretty much it.
So, I know this ruin is Bradomeo. This alien ruin, the Mages Guild tried to excavate this before. There might be some juicy stuff in there. Maybe some Welkid stones, some Aelid stones.
Or some swords.
Some swords.
I feel a slight itch in my fingertips wanting to grab for my halberd, because I want to do something heroic, but at the same time I'm a little bit scared if this orc thinks that this is dangerous, and he's a big fella. Might not be smart.
Burrag looks at you and observes your itching fingertips, that thrill of adventure that he had seen in so many of his other allies in years past. Fine. I'll wait out here. I'll set up camp. He picks up Feldarth and moves him over to this little secluded corner here by some rubble. I've got some food I want to eat anyway. I didn't get to eat at the inn.
Alright, well, if he wakes up again, just give him a good thump on the back of the head.
If only that worked.
Alright, well, let's go on an adventure.
Yeah, I'll take point.
I'm looking for Welked stones, particularly.